This is exactly right.
This episode is supported by FX's The Shards, a seductive drama from executive producer Ryan Murphy.
Set in 1980s Los Angeles, the series follows a group of glamorous, deeply entangled high school seniors drawn into a life of wealth, beauty, parties, and excess.
At its center is Brett, whose reality begins to unravel when the arrival of a new student coincides with a series of mysterious murders.
FX's The Shards premieres August 5th on FX and Hulu.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why there's Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And like, whatever turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. Like at this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event and get away with a deal so right, it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models,
including the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Santa Fe or Santa Fe Hybrid and the Tucson or Tucson Hybrid.
Plus, there's the bold and stylish Elantra loaded with the latest tech.
Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or the Ioniq 9.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll love during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com for details.
Goodbye.
Hello.
And welcome
To My Favorite Murder.
Celebrity Hometowns.
That's right. Segment. Here it is.
Portion
of the show.
A new thing we're doing. We thought it would be fun to gather up all of our most famous friends and have them tell us about the inciting incident that got them into true crime, an interesting story from their life, some kind of badass grandma that they might have in their background, anything.
Hauntings.
Hauntings are great.
Did your brother almost try to kill you on accident when you were kids?
Is your grandma related to Al Capone? We've heard it all, and we want to hear it all. That's
right.
What hometowns are all about these days. And then what better than to get a hometown from a person that you've seen on TV, you know them from social media, from podcasting, from everywhere you look. The one and only Mr. Paul Holes.
Look at him. Hi, Paul.
How's it going? It's been a long time.
It has. How's your quarantine going?
You know, it's going good. Yeah. In fact, the pandemic was my first break since I retired. So yeah,
that's right. You retired and immediately started a brand new career.
Yes. Yeah, it was crazy.
In the media. Yeah.
Right. So, March of 2020, I came back from New York. I was on Dr. Oz, and the next day I had a fever and a sore throat. And I have a feeling that I probably had COVID out of New York.
Yeah.
And it lasted 4 days. It wasn't too bad. And then from then on, my life slowed down, which was much needed. So,
totally.
And
unexpected and scary, but it's also like, wow, this is what it's like to actually retire.
To a point, yeah. But it was in some ways, it's unfortunate it had to do because of the pandemic. But then, I moved out to Colorado, so I started enjoying Colorado things. Of course, everything was shut down here from restaurants and stuff, but I could still go out in the mountains. I could still mountain bike. So that's what I did.
That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And Paul, I remember when you got that fever on your flight home because we were all talking about, oh, we don't have to shut the offices down right now. We can still, and we were kind of playing in that middle ground. And then Danielle called and she's like, Paul Holes probably has it. We have to shut everything down and get it industrially cleaned. And that's when we got serious because we were like, whether Paul actually has it or he's just sick from traveling, whatever this is, we now know that this is how close it could be.
Yeah.
That we could that everyone could give it to each other. Like it's serious business.
Yeah. The Exactly Right offices are no more because we don't need them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, and that's, that's what's been surprising to me because I know going into this podcasting world, I was like, well, I need to be in the room with the person I'm talking to. That's what I'm used to.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then we're forced to do the online. But with, like right now, I can see you two. I can see you looking, how your body language is. And, that's what Billy and I do. And it worked. And the listeners didn't notice a difference. So it's something that, makes life a little bit easier versus me constantly traveling out to LA to record.
That's true. And now we know in the future, like it's not, it's so much better to be in person. Everyone knows that, but it's not totally necessary that you have to upend your life every time you have to record an episode.
That's true, but I miss seeing you guys in person, and I think I'll be seeing you guys in person pretty soon.
I hope so.
Yay. That's great. Murder Squad has just done so well from the get-go. Like you guys are a hit podcast. I mean, we all knew that it would be when we asked you to do it, but it's just so great to watch you guys grow because you really have been a juggernaut. And I don't think we've even had that conversation with you ever of just like, congratulations and thank you for making a hit show.
Well, I think where the credit is deserved is with you guys. You had the belief in us, and your fan base in part was something that gave us an advantage. So I know, and Billy and I have talked. We understood that we had, that type of opportunity, and we really do owe you guys a lot for the success that we've had on our side.
You're so modest.
You're very modest, Paul, especially when the hashtag Hot for Holes started and then went on for so long. I think it's still alive to this day.
It is. Yeah.
I mean, come on. You're like a member of New Kids on the Block and you know it. And we weren't going to let that opportunity pass us by.
Absolutely not.
I blame you guys for that. Are you kidding?
We didn't start it. We didn't start the fire.
We did not start that fire.
No, we
always
didn't.
burning.
Oh, yeah.
Hey,
right.
I have a question. Did you write a book during the pandemic too? Like, was it thoroughly or was it before and you started it before?
I started a book a couple of months after I retired, and of course it was underway during the course of as I was doing everything. And then the pandemic really allowed us to drill down and try to get it done. And so now, for the most part, it's done. And you guys were the first ones to announce it.
Yes.
That was
We're
exciting.
so excited.
Yeah.
Can't wait to read it. It's coming out, is that right? April of 2022?
That's correct. It's available for pre-order right now. I'm excited. It's, it's something where the author and the publisher really pushed me because it's, I thought going into writing the book, all people wanted to hear about was the inside scoop of Golden State Killer. And then they really said, no, people want to get to know who you are, as well as, your career. So in many ways, this is my memoir. And in many ways, I've had to open up and divulge a lot of personal aspects of my life that, it's very uncomfortable. I'm a very private person. I'm naturally an introvert, but also at the same time, it's important for people to see how working in this line of work, and in particular, the types of cases that I worked, has impacted me on a personal level. And that really fundamentally is one of the primary goals of this book is for people to understand why I am me now, so it was an interesting process. I just hope that people read it and understand when they read a lot of things about me.
We got it.
Oh boy.
We got it. It's called Unmasked, My Life Solving America's Cold Cases. And please pre-order. That's such an important thing for authors that I think a lot of people don't know is the pre-order is a big deal. So do that. Yeah. But it is so weird when they push you to write. Like we wrote a memoir and we're open books. And we still had to be pushed to write personal things that we had no idea. Like, so as someone who's an introvert, I can't imagine how hard that was.
Just consider the fact that all of those secrets are now going into the Library of Congress and you're forever recorded.
That's right.
Everything that you admitted.
No worry, no biggie.
No,
it's just
no big deal.
Recorded for life.
Oh, you're making me feel so much better.
That's our specialty. That's how we do it.
If we had to do it, you got to do it. That's our rule for our friends.
Yes, exactly. I can't wait to read it, though. I think there's all those East Bay crimes that I know of growing up in the Bay Area. I just can't wait to get the inside scoop.
Yeah, I talk about, some of the cases I've been involved with, and, I was in a unusual position to either have caught the cases from the get-go or insert myself in select cases. And some of these cases are cases that the world knows about, but doesn't know that I've was involved behind the scenes, and so, there's going to be details in there about some of these things that nobody's ever heard. And, again, I'm just excited to be able to put this out there and hope people find it a compelling read.
So cool.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a big deal to write a book.
It is.
It's a big deal.
You're an author.
It's I never would have imagined I'd be here, but yes, and I'm a podcaster.
And you're a podcaster. First and foremost.
You're America's heartthrob.
I mean, all these things. You're a multi hyphenate. Is what they say.
I'm a retired county employee. That's what I am.
To put it simply.
Yes. Buying clothes is easy. That's why everyone's always doing it.
But finding clothes you actually want to wear is the hard part.
Get all your favorite elevated essentials at Quince.
Quince specializes in effortless, high-quality essentials like ultra-soft organic cotton and premium Mongolian cashmere sweaters. They're beautifully tailored and built to last. And it's not just apparel. Quince also brings that same everyday elevation to everything they offer, from hotel-quality bedding and bath to kitchen staples, essentials, and thoughtfully designed furniture.
They work directly with ethical factories, so you're paying for quality, not brand markup.
It's so true that they have wonderful items that aren't just clothes. I have like 3 of their 100% mulberry silk pillowcases. I've bought throws from there. I've bought bedding from there. And it is just as great quality as their clothes and super affordable.
Upgrade your everyday.
Download the Quince app for app-exclusive offers or go to quince.com/MFM. Get free shipping on your order and 365-day returns.
Now available in Canada and the UK too.
QUINCE.com/MFM.
Goodbye.
The right piece of furniture can completely change your room.
And your life. It's amazing what one good couch can do for morale.
And that's why there's Article.
Article makes it effortless to create a stylish, long-lasting home at an unbeatable price.
They take great care in curating their collection, focusing on pieces that stand the test of time. There's no filler. Every item is chosen for its craftsmanship, design, and lasting value.
And with Article's 30-day satisfaction guarantee, you can shop with confidence, knowing that if you're not completely in love with your new furniture, you can easily return it.
I recently needed to replace my old outdoor dining room table and chairs, so of course I went straight to Article. They have the Sarik outdoor dining set. I got it in khaki green. It's such a cute, like minty green. It looks so good in my backyard. I can't wait to have alfresco dinners all summer. We can carve pumpkins on it in fall. It's so beautiful. Article knocked it out of the park once again.
Article's offering our listeners $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
To claim, visit article.com/murder, and the discount will be automatically applied at checkout.
That's article.com/murder for $50 off your first purchase of $100 or more.
Goodbye. Get into the Hyundai Getaway Sales event and get away with a deal so right it almost feels wrong.
Right now, you can get great deals on Hyundai's most popular models, from hybrids to EVs and more.
Score on the adventure-ready SUVs like the Hyundai Kona, Tucson, Santa Fe, or Palisade, or the bold and tech-inspired Elantra.
And the most advanced and capable Sonata or Sonata Hybrid yet. Or go all-electric with the Ioniq 5 or Ioniq 9.
But getting away with a great deal is just the beginning, because every new Hyundai is backed by America's best warranty.
Which means you can shop with confidence and drive with unrivaled peace of mind.
So get down to your local Hyundai dealer and get away with a deal you'll truly love, but don't wait.
The Hyundai Getaway Sales event won't be around for long.
Visit HyundaiUSA.com now for details.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Well, speaking of all those cases, maybe let's pivot into your quote unquote hometown, because hometown means so many things. So maybe it's the case you remember from your childhood hometown that first piqued your interest, or a case you worked on that maybe was the first case or the one that first stuck with you or made you realize the gravity of what you were doing. Or maybe your grandma was a badass. You can tell us anything.
Anything.
Oh, wow. It's wild because I've been thinking about this a little bit, and there's so many different ways that I could go. I remember, my dad was in the Air Force and he was stationed at Hill Air Force Base. And this is in that 1973, 1974 time frame. And I, as a young boy, would just go, do what you did as a kid back in the early 70s. You just go wander around and your parents had no idea where you were at. And I remember
maybe a little smoking here and there, maybe some bike riding, some smoking.
Oh yeah. At age 4 or 5,
Wait, you were just on your own at age 4 or 5, just wandering the streets.
Chewing the Copenhagen, it's
yes.
No, but
that's right.
It's funny because I do remember I would slide underneath the chain link fence, to go outside of the base. And it was funny because I was collecting bottle caps for whatever reason, right? I was looking for trash but as a kid, you think this is the coolest thing.
70s.
And then as I got older, I realized that when I was out there by myself, that's when Ted Bundy was in the area. So it was one of those things where you go, wow, what would have happened, right? Even though, his predilection was for women, still a young boy may be somebody that a predator couldn't have passed up. And I think, back over my time, for similar incidences in terms of, wow, that was really stupid.
Yeah.
But in terms of, for me, what really got me into my career, it wasn't any type of case. It was a TV show, and I know when we did our show together up in Sacramento, when you guys brought me out on stage, I talked about it a little bit in terms of Quincy. The medical examiner, the pathologist. And, that show portrayed this pathologist, Quincy, Jack Klugman, who's not only doing the autopsies, but is doing the forensic work, is investigating the cases. He really isn't a real person, but I was fascinated with it. And then ultimately, when I went to college at UC Davis, I was pre-med because I wanted to become a forensic pathologist.
Oh, I love it.
And I ended up, I took a human anatomy course, which was taught out at the med school. UC Davis has an excellent med school. And so I got access to the medical school's library, and they had a shelf, maybe 2 shelves worth of forensic pathology books. And this was really the first time that I was opening the pages and seeing images of death in all its states. And that was shocking to the system. For the uninitiated to see, what happens when somebody dies, the decompositional processes, or, vehicular accidents, which are horrific in terms of the injuries, or airplane crashes. You start not only going, geez, this is gruesome, but it's also that check on your own mortality, as now I'm in my early 20s. I think I was 21. It really is that thought-invoking aspect about what life is all about. But I became fascinated with that. But because I was more interested in playing guitar and girls, I did not. I did not have the grades to go to med school.
Again, you were 21. Like, what else would you
be
doing?
You were going to be a rock and roll doctor.
Yeah. When I was really at that point, okay, med school is out, and I was kind of struggling what I wanted to do. I thought because my degree is in biochemistry that I would go into biotechnology, which was brand new at the time. And I actually interned at a biotech company in Davis called Calgene. So I thought, well, this seems to be the direction I want to go, but I don't know. And then I'm at a job fair at the UC Davis gym. It's a huge complex. And it was, like on the basketball floor, all sorts of booths are set up, and a lot of biotech companies were there. And I was standing in line to talk to some biotech company, and I look over at this other booth, And there was an old style TV, the old, CRT TVs, right? Sitting up on one of those TV stands at this booth. And the image on the TV was a man lying in a pool of blood in the middle of a kitchen. And I was immediately like, what's that?
Excuse me.
Excuse me. I get out of that line and I go over there. And there was an older gentleman, Victor Reeves, from the California Criminalistics Institute, who was basically recruiting for criminalistics, which I had never heard of. But he was saying, criminalists are forensic scientists that work in the lab, but we also go out to do crime scene investigation. And I was sold. Yes. So at that point, I was like, okay, this is what I want to do. And I immediately went to the UC Davis job, kind of their career library, and flipped through, recent job announcements and found a forensic toxicologist announcement for Contra Costa County up in the Bay Area, California. And I applied. And that's literally how I got into at least the beginning of my career. Mm-hmm. But as a forensic toxicologist, I'm doing drug analysis and alcohol analysis, and I quickly became bored. And I don't do bored well at all. And there was a deputy sheriff criminalist position opening up after a few years on the job. And they were the ones that got to go out to do the crime scenes and work the homicides. And I was like, that's what I want to do. And from that point on, I just I got hired into that position. I got hooked into cold cases and serial predator stuff and did the deep dive early in my career, and then ended up working so many cases, and it was fortunate. This is a busy area and a unique area. And so I was exposed to so much over the course of my career.
That's amazing. How did cold cases get solved back then? I know we didn't have genetic genealogy, so it's just like gumshoe or a little bit of blood or...
When I first started, DNA was pretty much brand new in crime labs. And there were some cold cases being solved, but they were what you'd call the low-hanging fruit. It was they had the obvious physical evidence, the easy physical evidence to use. But as time went on, those dried up, and, you didn't see a lot of cold cases being solved until DNA matured. Mm-hmm. But you still have, the boots on the ground investigation. I just know, from my experience that, you get so locked in on a suspect because of circumstantial evidence, and just to see these suspects that you're convinced this is the guy, and then to watch the objective forensic science evidence eliminate that guy. If it's a cold case, for me, I really am much more comfortable seeing, I want that objective evidence to support my thoughts, because I have been wrong, and that's the limitation of that human thought process. You think, oh, this can't be a coincidence. He's got to be involved. And it turns out, oh, it's just a coincidence.
Yeah. It's crazy how many coincidences there are in those
it
cases
is.
where you're like, this is not possible, but
that's right.
But it's possible.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like you had to argue for when DNA was early on, but it was around? And did you ever feel like you were the ambassador for that kind of testing, or did everybody accept it as it came? Was there pushback against it? What was that like? No,
DNA technology was very well embraced within the forensic science community and within law enforcement. The pushback came, of course, by the defense, because it was new and they wanted to fight it, and it incriminated their defendant. So that's where DNA really proved itself, was in the courts. Now I know the struggle that I had within my department is that the resources just weren't there to work cold cases. The 1990s was very busy. A lot of gang violence, a lot of drug violence, a lot of drug labs. I was out, all these Beavis and Butthead cooks that were going on. It's just, the duffel bag filled with chemicals. So to try to find the time to work a case that was 20 years old was hard. And the reality is I was the only one that consistently would do it. Every now and then, an investigator would come on board that showed an interest, and then that person would get reassigned. Yeah. But for me, it became a passion, and I just did it. My bosses often didn't know what I was up to.
Maverick over here.
Yes.
So, and it was just,
Quincy.
well, that was Quincy. I was influenced by the TV show.
Yeah. Quincy didn't wait for permission.
No.
He just went and did it.
I talk to people and I say, you have to take risks. If you want to make a difference, you got to take risks. Otherwise, you're just going to be another cog in the machinery of the agency you're working for. I took the risks, and fortunately, I didn't get bit. And fortunately, my biggest risk was, maintaining and persisting on Golden State Killer, and that worked out well. We got a very, very bad guy off the streets, but that's kind of, I think, across the board. That's the struggle that many agencies have, is they don't have the resources to dig up these old cases. So that's where you get into the arguments of. And my book details this, to where I was being criticized because from my own staff, because I was pursuing these cold cases when staff couldn't keep up on the current casework, and they're saying, Holes is killing us. So
I love it. The bad boy in the lab.
Now, Paul, do you remember when you filmed Cold Case Files? Was that the first thing like that you ever did for TV?
Okay, so no, the very first TV outside of a real quick snippet on news, like for O.J. Simpson, to date myself. But the very first thing I did, believe it or not, was Unsolved Mysteries.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
What was the case?
It was East Area Rapist.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. So in 2001, when we had the DNA link from East Area Rapist to the original Night Stalker down south,
right?
Unsolved Mysteries decided, they wanted to interview me. So I went up to Sacramento and interviewed in a motel room, which was fairly straightforward. But then I was down in San Diego for sergeant school. And then they called up and said, hey, we would love to have you reenact the phone call, of the, when I called down to Orange County about this link. And that was so cool because they had me drive up to Los Angeles, and in some old building downtown in a studio there, an old set with bubbling beakers and test tubes in the background, which was just so fake and not real.
So classic.
Wait a
Unsolved
second.
Mystery.
Wait, what? You didn't have Bunsen burners?
No.
As you were...
The old eye wash station over here.
Well, there were eye wash stations, but but that was really the first time. And so I had to act, on the phone, and then I had some extra that was on the set saying, well, you didn't give a long enough pause to hear the person on the other side.
Oh my God.
I was like, okay, but that was the first time.
Wait, how many takes? How many takes did you have to do to pretend to talk on the phone?
There were multiple takes, but I don't remember how many. I was so nervous, right? Because it was just, this wasn't what I was used to. But it was a cool experience looking back on it, and that was the first time. And then it was like in the 2008-2009 timeframe, media got interested in the case again. So that's when I did the interview with Cold Case Files, True Hollywood Stories Investigates.
Oh, yeah.
And that's when one of the producers of that show, Todd Lindsay, he's the one who claims to have told Michelle McNamara about the East Area Rapist case. Oh. And that's, of course, when Michelle got hooked as to, well, what is this case? And then, of course, everybody knows her story at this point.
Yeah.
Of course. That's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me that if you hadn't, it's like, I always think of turning points in little moments in people's lives. And if you hadn't seen the TV at that job fair with a dude in blood, or if you had seen it and been like, what the hell? And like been creeped out by it. But somehow, like, I feel like we can identify that with that as murderinos, that we see something like that and we go, what is that? Instead of what the hell?
Yeah, the feeling is, you're being drawn towards something that's repelling other people.
Right.
And so then you're trying not to, you're like, how much do you judge yourself, or how much do you say, to talk to yourself about that, or how much do you just go, I don't give a shit. I need to know what is going on here.
Yeah. Yeah. It's one of those points in my life that I look back on, and it was something that drew me into where, for whatever reason, I just have the personality and the skill set to do that kind of work. And it's just was, by coincidence that I saw that TV. So it is those little points in your life that, they make huge differences. That literally, if I hadn't seen that, I'd probably be working for a pharmaceutical company, driving around, having giving out, drug samples to doctors, right?
And high on pills. Just really.
I'd be so high.
Yeah. Your own pill addiction. It would have been a mess.
Yes. Pills are so easy. They're just easy to do.
They are.
And we'd never have the hot for holes hashtag. And where would we be?
That would be, we would be lost. None of this would be happening.
That's
if Paul
right.
didn't see that TV.
That's right.
That was great. Thank you. We love you, Paul Holes.
Yes.
Everybody does.
Huge fans.
We're so proud that you are in our family.
Yes.
It just means the world to us that you and Billy do that show, and that you actually did join us after all, because it's just the coolest.
Yes.
We're your number one fans.
Well, I love you guys too. There's a special connection, and Karen, we've flirted in the past.
Once this quarantine is over.
I have a photo of the three of us from the Sacramento show. I'll send it along if we want to put it on Instagram when we post this. It'd be really fun.
Yeah.
It's cute.
Very cool.
It's fun.
Backstage,
baby.
fun times.
So April of 2022, make sure that you pre-order Unmasked, My Life Solving America's Cold Cases by none other than Paul Holes. Always, always, always rate, review, and subscribe to the Murder Squad. New episodes are released every Monday. Paul Holes, thank you
so much
for being on our celebrity hometown show.
So fun.
Yes.
Well, thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Great to see you.
Yes, for
Great
sure.
to see you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Elvis, do you want a cookie?
This has been an Exactly Right production.
Our producer is Hannah Kyle Crichton.
Our associate producer is Alejandra Keck.
Engineered and mixed by Andrew Eapen.
Send us your hometowns at myfavoritemurder@gmail.com.
Follow the show on Instagram and Facebook at My Favorite Murder and Twitter at My Fave Murder.
For more information about the podcast, live shows, merch, or to join the fan cult, go to myfavoritemurder.com.
And please rate, review, and subscribe. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
The best time to think about home security is before you need it.
That's exactly why they're Simply Safe.
Traditional home security only alerts you after a break-in has already happened, and that's too late. Simply Safe is changing that.
Simply Safe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them so intruders never get to your house.
The system is customizable so you can build one that fits your home and your specific needs.
The 24/7 professional monitoring is effective and affordable and won't lock you into a long-term contract.
I think that's what's so scary for so many people is that long-term contract. And whatever turns out you don't like it or need it, but they don't have that because they know you'll like it and you'll know that you need it and feel so much safer when you have it. At this point in my life, I would never go without a security system on my house. I just feel safer with actually having Simply Safe around.
There's a whole staff at Simply Safe that's waiting to talk to you and help you out. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplysafe.com/MFM.
That's half off at simplysafe.com/MFM.
There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Goodbye.
Vacation planning should feel like a breeze, not a deep dive into countless travel sites searching for the best deal.
With Cheap Caribbean's Budget Beach Finder, you can search every destination and every date all in one search.
You'll save time and money with the Budget Beach Finder.
Say goodbye to endless scrolling and tab hopping and hello to Budget Beach Bliss at your fingertips.
Go to cheapcaribbean.com to try out the Budget Beach Finder and see just how stress-free vacation planning should be.
Goodbye. Capture your favorite summer feeling with Pandora Jewelry.
Discover a collection inspired by the sunshine, freedom, and moments that make the season unforgettable.
From sun-kissed metals to personalized pieces ready to be engraved with your summer mantra.
Each design moves with you from beach days to golden nights and every memory in between.
Shop Pandora Jewelry's new summer collection in-store or online at pandora.net and let your summer unfold. Goodbye.